Wanna be Ryan the Great, and today we are back with more UFC predictions, guys. We're back with UFC 307 predictions, headlined by Alex Pereira defending his light heavyweight championship against Khalil Roundtree. And this card overall, I mean, there's some good fights. It's just nobody really cares about them. Like, they're not gonna really, I mean, other than maybe the Harrison fight and the Pereira fight, it's not going to really lead to anything substantial on the main card. It's great to see that we can see Wonder Boy fight on free TV, so that's nice to see. But yeah, let's just get right into this video. But before we get right into it, guys, make sure you guys subscribe with your post notifications on. Go subscribe to my brother, Looking Great Blogs. Make sure you go subscribe to my second channel at Around the Cog Great. Make sure you guys go follow me on X Around the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go follow me on TikTok at Around the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go listen to the latest edition of the CR7 podcast. Make sure you guys go follow me on Twitch at Around the Great Podcast. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, from the video, let's roll that intro. Hey, come on, Stotty. Stop! 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 Red Flare! First pitch! Bring him in! Yeah! Oh, damn. Alright, let's get in the video. So starting off with our first fight, Roman Dolidze versus Kevin Holland in a middleweight bout. I'm going to take Kevin Holland here by a third-round submission. And some people do like Roman here, and I do understand it. Roman is a dangerous grappler, but I think Kevin Holland, he's seen a lot of dangerous grapplers in his career. And when you take all that into consideration, and then you also say that Kevin Holland will definitely win the fight on the feet against Roman Dolidze. He's a lot better of a boxer. I don't think Roman's going to be able to handle the stance switches from Kevin Holland. And honestly, it really depends on where Kevin Holland wants to keep this fight. If he wants to keep it on the feet, then I do believe he will be able to win, as once again, he is the better boxer and has a better striker. But if he wants to really go to the ground, I would give him the advantage, just because, I don't know if I'd give him the advantage, but I would give him the edge on his takedown defense, which I believe he's gotten a lot better in his last couple of fights. Also, we saw his first round submission in his last fight on the armbar. I mean, you saw it was good takedown defense. I mean, he got taken down, but then was able to counter into an armbar. I definitely could see him winning by decision, saying that he wants to keep this on the feet, because I don't think he would. I don't think he's great enough on the feet to finish Dolidze, but he's definitely better than Dolidze on the feet. But I think that if he wants to go to the ground, which he most likely will want to, then he will get the finish, and that's just the type of fighter he is, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'm gonna take Kevin Holland by third round submission. Up next, Ketlin Vieira versus Kayla Harrison, and that is in a women's bantamweight bout. I'm gonna take Kayla Harrison here by a first round submission. I really don't think that this is too hard to predict. Kayla Harrison is obviously one of the most dominant women's fighters in the UFC currently. She made quick work of Holly Holm in her last fight. I feel this is a pretty obvious prediction. Vieira's a decent fighter, but she's not on the level of Kayla Harrison at this current moment in time. I expect Harrison to get her on the ground early and, get on her back or whatever and just finish this fight. I really don't expect this to mean much of a contest, and I think this fight is honestly just so Harrison can call out the winner of Pennington versus Juliana Pena. Maybe she'll call out both of them, the winner of that fight and Amanda Nunes. We don't know, but no call out from Amanda Nunes last time from Kayla Harrison, so maybe we'll see it this go around. I'm not sure. Anyway, next we have Jose Aldo versus Mario Bautista, obviously a bantamweight bout. I'm going to take Bautista here by unanimous decision. Now, some people might ask why I'm going to take Bautista here. I would take Aldo, but, I don't think he has the hunger and the willingness to really win in the UFC anymore. He obviously wants to go do boxing and stuff like that. He's just using these fights to get out of his contract. If Aldo does win, it's not really going to take anybody anywhere, as Aldo's not going to be competing for the championship anytime soon. Bautista's definitely a very good fighter. And if he loses, it's not really going to do anything for him. If he wins, I mean, it'll be good to see him get a win over a legend, but obviously, as I mentioned, I don't think really Aldo cares about the UFC that much anymore, as he's not going to go up, he can really only go down. I don't really think that Aldo can match the grappling and, at this stage of his career, the cardio of Bautista, who has looked very, very good. I think Aldo has the fight IQ and the, he understands the game, so he's not going to get finished, but I expect Bautista to at least take 2 of the 3 rounds, just based off the grappling and, I think the longevity, or not the longevity, the cardio from him is going to, I think I would expect him to win the 3rd round, saying it goes 2 there. So yeah, I'm going to take Bautista by unanimous decision. Up next, we have Raquel Pennington defending the Women's Bantamweight Championship against Juliana Pena. Now, this fight, I don't really think anybody cares about. I think this is just a feeder fight to Kayla Harrison. But nonetheless, we obviously have to analyze this fight. Not many people even like these fighters. Now, listen, I'm not a big fan of Raquel Pennington. Obviously, she's been great, throughout her career. She's looked impressive. She's a seasoned veteran. But she's just not interesting. She's just not an interesting fighter. She's tough. She's a really tough fighter. But she's just not interesting at all, which really just, doesn't excite anybody. But Juliana Pena, I don't really have a problem with Juliana Pena, but some people just seem to hate her, which I don't necessarily know why, but I guess it's her mouth, maybe. I don't know. Maybe she gets too cocky and she had that fluke win over Amanda Nunes. But nonetheless, let's get into the analysis here. I'm going to take Raquel Pennington by unanimous decision. I was going to go with Pena, but, I took into consideration the fact that Pennington has the better boxing. She has the better clinch game than Pena, which I don't think Pena's going to be able to handle over a 5-round fight. Remember, this is a 5-round fight now. So, I think Pena could take the first 2 rounds just based off her striking, but once Pennington kind of gets into this fight, I think that she would be able to take, the final few rounds. She could probably win 4 out of the 5. I don't see her taking all 5, but I definitely could see her winning 4 out of the 5, and I think the clinch game, the grappling game, is going to frustrate Pena throughout this fight, who is probably going to want to stay on the feet. But once again, she could win these first few rounds. Now, I don't think Pena really deserves this fight, if I'm being totally honest. But, she really is just getting this off her name. And obviously her 1 win over Amanda Nunes. So, yeah, once again, I think that this is a feeder fight. Whoever is going to win this fight is probably going to get fed to Kayla Harrison. And I think Harrison would beat either of these women, if I'm being completely honest. So, yeah, I think that this is just a feeder fight. Up next, our main event, Alex Pereira defending the light heavyweight championship against Khalil Rountree. Now, some people are saying, Rountree can do this to win, Rountree can do that as a win. He's a guy, he's lower in the rankings, he could have a shot, yada, yada, yada. Listen, Rountree's just another guy who doesn't go to the ground. And the UFC has just been feeding those type of guys to Alex Pereira. You saw what he was able to do against Jamal Hill, Yuri Prochazka. Now, obviously, Prochazka went to the ground in some of their fights, or at least in the first fight, he tried to go to the ground, and Pereira knocked him out. Jamal Hill didn't go to the ground. Pereira knocked him out. Pereira got hit in the jewels and still knocked him out in the next 10 seconds. So, this is just going to be the same thing. I think people are just looking way too far into this. Pereira, one of the best kickboxers and strikers to ever step foot into the octagon. Rountree has had a huge layoff. He beat Anthony Smith in his last fight, which is not really much to brag about with the way Anthony Smith has been looking over his past couple of fights. There's no way he can handle the striking of Alex Pereira. I expect him to beat him with a head kick or that left hook, which he's done in his last couple of fights. I expect this to be an easy win for Pereira. But anyway, that'll do it for this video, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe with your post notifications on. Go subscribe to my brother, Linda Great Vlogs. Make sure you go subscribe to my second channel, Live Around the Calgary. Make sure you guys go follow me on X, RTG. Make sure you guys go follow me on TikTok at RTG. Make sure you guys go listen to the latest edition of the CR7 podcast. Make sure you guys go follow me on Twitch at Ryan the Great Podcast. And as always, Ryan the Great out. Peace.